Want you to meet a good friend of the show, Rick Hogg of War Hog. He's going to have an introduction to working dogs for law enforcement and military.
Hey guys, I'm Rick Hogg with War Hog Tactical, and on this season of Trigger Time TV, we're going to talk about military working dogs, how to train them, and their handler counterparts. I think it's important you guys understand a little bit about me before we start, and my partner here, Duco. Sits. So my name is Rick Hogg, and I'm with War Hog Tactical. I'm a 29-year U.S. Army Special Operations combat veteran. I've taken my time as an airborne infantryman, a Special Forces weapons sergeant, a Special Forces team sergeant, a Special Operations Forces K-9 handler, and a Special Forces Advanced Urban Combat instructor, taking those skills to develop War Hog Tactical. We are a mobile firearms, tactical, and K-9 training company for law-abiding citizens, military, and law enforcement agencies. We also have a K-9 product line. We conduct product field testing and consult for both the defense and firearms industry. I think it's also important you guys understand a little bit about Duco. So Duco was my K-9 I had in Afghanistan. So we served overseas together, and he's a combat veteran just like with me. So let's talk about a little bit about the military working dog history. Military working dogs have been in use ever since the beginning of time, going back to the biblical ages they were used. But really, I want to focus on how the U.S. has used them since World War II. So during World War II, there really was no military working dog program. So when the war kicked off, there was a program initiated that was called Dogs for Defense. And civilians basically had to give up their own animals for the defense of this country. At the end of World War II, those animals that were fit were kind of sent back to their handlers. And you'll see this is important because it'll play kind of almost a 360 later on in time. So we kind of fast forward to the Vietnam era, and these animals were looked at as equipment, not really as U.S. service members. So in turn, we ended up leaving over 4,000 animals in Vietnam because, again, they were just considered excess equipment. Now, we fast forward to 2000, and Congress passes a law that it is no longer going to be authorized to euthanize military working dogs. Instead, the handlers will have the option to retire these dogs. So again, this is a great benefit to myself because, again, Duco was and still is my war dog. So you got to look at, with the global war on terrorism, these guys, their role has taken, in my opinion, a whole new kind of meaning or direction. They are treated just like U.S. service members. So you'll see that he'll wear the stars and stripes just like I do in my uniform. He's treated just like a U.S. service member. If he is wounded on the battlefield, he'll end up getting medevaced out. He will have U.S. surgeons that actually will work on him. There's policies and procedures in place to account for him, just like myself, if we're flying out on aircraft. So a quick story I can tell you, one of my buddies did us a solid. We were gonna fly out on an aircraft one day, and when he was doing up the manifest, Duco became Colonel Duco, and to see the look on that Air Force's loadmaster when Colonel Duco showed up with 4 legs, let me tell you, it was pretty priceless. So again, we're gonna get you guys a little more in tune to both myself and Duco and kind of what we did over the years, a little bit of training that we've done, and show you a little bit of the inside of the military working dog. So I'm excited, guys. During this season, we're going to talk about some obedience with the K-9, some equipment that he uses, some room clearing. We'll actually use some UTM and give you guys a little more perspective into some of the equipment he was using and some of the training we used. This is Rick Hogg with War Hog Tactical, and we'll see you guys out at the range or on the dog field.